your snowmobile or four-wheeler starts to backfire, slowly stop, turn around, and go back home. Although carburetors can be small, they can play a big role in the engine. If your snowmobile or ATV starts to backfire, that is a good indicator that the carburetors need to be cleaned. If it is not cleaned, within a matter of fair distance of time, will affect the performance of your engine, and it could eventually ruin your engine. This is how to properly clean your carburetor. First, you're gonna set it upright. Oh, upside down, excuse me. You're gonna twist these two screw caps off. According to wisegeek.com, carburetors follow a basic type of construction. It consists of a tube with an adjustable plate across it. This is your tube. That's your cable or your adjustable plate. Then you are gonna grab a Phillips screwdriver and remove your two small screws without dropping the screwdriver. The carburetor provides the proper mixture of air and gas to your engine, so it gives it the optimal amount of performance. This is a dual carburetor, because on the engine it came off of has two cylinders, so it has a carburetor for each cylinder, so they both run equal. And when you take the caps off, you want to make sure you get these rubber seals off, because the carburetor cleaner will dissolve the seals. Next, you want to remove the float valves. And to do that, you're also going to take your Phillips screwdriver, and you are going to remove two screws that hold it in place. Not old carburetors or float valves on carburetors are held together with screws. They just sit there, and they have a little piece on top of on the carburetor cap, which will take it. When you take the carburetor cap off, it frees up your float valve, so it comes off much easier. Here's one. That's what your float valve looks like. When it runs, the amount of fuel you put in, there's a little, maybe hard to see, but there's a little spring in here that gets pulled up and pulled down depending on the flow of the fuel. That controls the flow of the idle. Stick. Then you're going to take out the screws on the other side. Move the other float valve. Now be careful not to strip your screws, because these are a special screw. If you can see it. It's only threaded at the very top, the rest of it just sits in there. So it sits in the float valve. Then once you go that stuff out of the way, I already took them out. You'd have the two main jets. They look like this, pretty small. Then you have your idle jets, which are smaller yet. And when you're checking to see how clean your carburetors or how clean the jets are, take it, hold up to a light, and look through it. You guys can't see this, but when I look through it, there's a little bit of debris in there. So that's why you're gonna put in the carburetor cleaner. Just check all of them for that. And this one has a little bit too. So you'll know when your idle jets are, oh, that one's clean. You'll know when your idle jets are kind of plugged up because your snowmobile or ATV or whatever your carburetor's on will start to die off. And that's not good. So once you get that done, you're gonna set it on its side because you don't want to ruin the breather tubes. And you're going to undo the bottom screws.
Forgot to loosen these up.
No, that one's fine. Too small a screwdriver. To function correctly, the carburetor consists of a complex set of mechanisms to support several different operating modes, like your throttle and your idle. That's what these are. This is your throttle. You have another prong here that your carburetor, and again you want to make sure you get the seals off. And as you can see in here, you can see the in and out. You see how it fluctuates and moves. It's kind of dirty in there, lots of grime and stuff, so that should be clean. And once you take that stuff off, you'd want to take your screwdriver, which this one was grinded down because these idle jets are in a very thin location, and you'd use your screwdriver to pry off the lid. But like I said earlier, it's really smelly, so I'm not going to do that. You usually let it sit. I like to do it in the morning and let it sit over throughout the day and over the night until morning. It'll give it a good time to soak, and that's how you clean your carburetor.